Should be live. Hopefully, I'm live. This is the first time I'm using different streamers platform. But welcome everyone to another YouTube live. In today's live, we're going to be discussing Arsenal's best 11. Now, a lot of this has not really been asked a lot around Arsenal. I feel like every single football club in the Premier League in the entire world always speaks about their best 11. And for Arsenal, it seems like we never talk about it because it's kind of simple. But I think the further on you move up the pitch, I think a lot of discussions can be made, especially in the left wing position, the 10 position, and the striker position. So in today's live, we'll be discussing all of that. But yeah, shall we just get straight into it? Let's get straight into it. Let's see if you can hear me first. Yeah, you can? Okay. Let's get straight into it. So, starting it off in goal, I think everyone can agree it is David Raya. David Raya is our best keeper. He is one of the best keepers in the entire world. Although he made a mistake against Wolves, I think he bounced back perfectly against Spurs with that unbelievable save off the line, and that's what he can do. Even though he's short, he may get lobbed, like the game against Wolves where he got lobbed by Bueno, and probably Donnarumma or Courtois do save those. But then again, there's pros and cons to being short, a shorter keeper, and David Raya proves that perfectly. His reaction time and his speed, it's second to none. Last season you saw against Aston Villa when Ollie Watkins should have scored from about 5 yards out, and David Raya pulls off a magnificent save. Does Donnarumma save that? Does he even get quick enough off his line, back up and save that? I don't think so. Also against Atalanta, he saved the penalty and pretty much the identical brilliant save. And then on Sunday again, like there's pros and cons to being short, and I think David Raya, even though he isn't the tallest keeper, and even though he may get lobbed one or two times, I still believe he is our number one keeper, and he will be for the next few years because he's only like 30 years old. The Gunners, yes, come on, you Gunners. You're always good, Abdi, bro. How are you? Make sure you like the stream and subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss another live, because we do go live every single day at 7 p.m. I've changed it so down there you can see like the text, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so David Raya is in goal for me. I think he is the best keeper that we have at a football club. I think Kepa, he's a good backup, but he's nowhere near the level as David Raya, and I think it's evident when we see him in the Carabao Cup semi-final, and then when we see David Raya in the Premier League. You just feel more secure with him in net compared to, let's say, a Kepa. Yo, what's good, Darren, bro? How are you? In today's live, we are going to be discussing our best 11, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We've already done keeper. I'm pretty sure every Arsenal fan can agree that it is David Raya in that. What's up? I'm good. How are you, man? How are you? Good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So David Raya is in that. Right back. It could be a debate. It could be put up for a debate, but I do believe it is Jurrington. But even though he's been quite poor and sloppy recently, but you could blame that on fatigueness. I think he is tired, and you can tell he's tired because when he's on the ball, he just looks very sloppy, and his passes are just sometimes very off. But on their day, who would you take, Jurriën Timber or Ben White? I think it's closer than a lot of people will say it is. I think Ben White on his day is a fantastic right back. I mean, we saw 22-23 season, 23-24 season, he had to step up. The first one was a title charge, and he was fantastic in that season. Him and Saka down the right-hand side with Ødegaard, I think they were just unbelievable that season. And then the next season after that, he was playing through injury, I'm pretty sure. And Jurriën Timber got an ACL, so he had to keep on playing, and he did that. And with him playing through injury, it has cost him to be out a lot, and he hasn't been able to stay fit since then. But what he's done for the football club in terms of playing at right back when he's literally been absolutely shattered with injuries because he loves the football club. I think a lot of Arsenal fans do rate and love Ben White, but at the end of the day, I still believe Jurriën Timber is just a level above. I think defensively, Jurriën Timber is a lot more solid. Like he's like especially last season, like against PSG in the semi-finals, you see that. I think it might have been in the group stage where he did that tackle on Bradley Barcola, and I'm like, wow, like literally no one can get past him. Like the only player that's given him a real challenge was Jeremy Doku, and even then he had the better of him at times. Boys, if you are in here, make sure you like the live and subscribe because we're trying to hit 500 subscribers. And yeah, liking the live will help me massively. I'm practicing my goalkeeper. What do you mean? What do you mean, Darren? Um, Yeah, so for me at right back, it is Jurriën Timber. I do think Jurriën Timber is our best right back, but Ben White's not too far off. Could you say Mosquera? I think that's too far. I think Mosquera, he's only been at the club for 6 months. He's played right back about 2 times, and in both times he has looked very good. But I think he's more of a centre back, and I think the other two are just better than at right back. Moving on to centre backs now. I don't think you can really debate this. It's Gabriel and Saliba. They're the two best centre backs in the entire world. I could argue they're first and second. Whichever order you put them in, I don't care because they're both Arsenal players and they're equally as good. They have their pros, and I think Gabriel's the one that does all the dirty work. He loves to wrestle the attackers, the strikers, and he just loves a little tackle in him. And then Saliba, he loves a little tackle in him as well, but he's more composed, much better on the ball, and they just complement them. Like Gabriel's weaknesses is Saliba's pros, and vice versa. And I think they complement each other so well, and I think that's what makes them the best centre back partnership in the entire world at the moment. I don't think any fan or rival fan or Arsenal fan will disagree with that statement. By the way, boys, if you are in here, we've got 9 people in here. Make sure you like the stream and subscribe. Let me know your Arsenal best 11, or let me know who you support first, and we'll have a little discussion there. But so far, we've gotten goalkeeper David Raya, right back Jurriën Timber, and then Saliba Gabriel centre backs. I think a lot of people can agree with that. At home, my dad is just throwing a ball at me, and I have to dive to stop it going in. Why have I just got deja vu there? Why have I just got deja vu? Have you said that to me before? Surely, I feel like I've read that exact sentence before, but I don't think I have. That was weird. That was really weird. Deja vu. What the hell? What the hell? Fuck it all. That put me off track. Yeah, left back. You haven't said it before. I'm just going mental. Then I am actually going mental. Left back. I am going to go for. Now this one's actually a debate. This one is a massive debate, and I need your help in the chat. Calafiori or Piero Hincapié? Now a lot of people are just going to instantly say Ricardo Calafiori, because before his injuries, he was the best left back in the league this season. Last season, he was ridiculed with injuries, and Miles Lewis-Skelly was actually up there. And if you say on their day, who would you rather have, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Calafiori, or Hincapié? I really think you could put an argument for each of those players. Miles Lewis-Skelly last season, he was phenomenal. I mean, at the Bernabeu, he was doing it. He was doing it. He was just fantastic at left back. But this season, it looks like he's lost a yard of pace. He's also he's put on muscle, which has resulted into him being quite slow. So I think this season he struggled a lot being that left back. I think he should be moving up to midfield now. He played in midfield throughout his entire academy years. It's time for Mikel Arteta to make that change and play him in midfield, because I don't think left back's his position anymore, and it's quite evident that every single time he plays there, he gets caught out of possession or in and behind over the top, and it's very frustrating because even against like championship level opponents or League One level opponents in Wigan and Portsmouth, they've still managed to exploit that down that left hand side, and it's a bit concerning. So yeah, I wouldn't go for Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back. So it's down between Piero Hincapié or Ricardo Calafiori. Now, if you're going to ask me at the start of the season, it will be Calafiori 100%. But since Calafiori has picked up countless injuries, there is a massive argument for Piero Hincapié. I think he's been phenomenal for the past couple of weeks. I've loved him. I've said this every single live stream. every single Arsenal fan, I mean majority of Arsenal fans, doubted him straight away, saying he's not technical enough. The exact same thing with Gyökeres. He's not technical enough. He's too rash. He can't string a 5-yard pass. But whenever I notice Pierre Hincapié play football, I've always enjoyed him. I've always enjoyed him in an Arsenal shirt. I think he's phenomenal. I think you can tell he loves the club. He knows what it means to win trophies because he did it at Bayer Leverkusen. He's got passion for the club. He wants to win at this club. And even though it's just a loan, he will join next season. Even though it is just a loan at the moment, you can tell he loves this club dearly. And I do believe he is up there in terms of our best left back. In PE, I can play fullback or goalkeeper. Go on, Darren. Go on. Darren, who would you play? Who would you play in our best 11? If everyone's fully fit and ready to go, who would you play at left back? What would your starting 11 be, actually? What would your starting 11 be? Left back, though, we're carrying on with the conversation between Calafiori and Hincapié. I've already spoken highly on Hincapié. Now, with Calafiori, at the start of the season, he was so good. Like, honestly, he could have been up there with one of our best players. He was that good. He was genuinely insane. Like, going forward, you would catch him at right wing at times, and it's like, how are you there? And then somehow we would never be caught out down that left-hand side because Calafiori is just there in an instant. And like, going forward, he offered us so much. He was probably one of our best attackers at the start of the season, and that's crazy to say. That might be a positive for Calafiori or a negative towards our attackers, but he was so important in going forward down that left-hand side. I thought him and Leandro Trossard created a very good relationship between each other and a partnership. And then once he did get injured, you could tell we were missing him massively down that left-hand side. We looked very vulnerable, and going forward, we just didn't look very clinical, and it was frustrating to watch at times. But I think Hincapié over time got used to that position, and then it's kind of Hincapié's position at this moment. I don't think Calafiori is our starting left back anymore. He needs to work his way back up, because when he has started since coming back from that injury, he has been quite rusty. He gave away a penalty against Kairak, also got a yellow card in that game. He was giving away silly, cheap fouls against other opponents. He was quite poor at times, and yeah, I think if we're going it based off right now, if everyone's fit, I would start Hincapié. But as an overall player, for me, it still has to be Calafiori. Even when we were going on even when we conceded 3 or 4 goals and we were in like October, November times, Calafiori was detrimental to that defense. So I am going to go for Ricardo Calafiori in that left back. So the defense is complete. David Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. I think everyone can agree with that. But that left wing position, a conversation has to be said there, because I don't think it's as easy as just saying it's Calafiori's our best left back. Because I think Hincapié can put a real argument towards the front. If you're in it, by the way, boys, make sure you like the stream and subscribe, turn on notifications, because it would mean the world to me. I would appreciate it, and yeah, it helps the channel grow even more. Moving on to midfield now, I think it's quite simple. I think it is Zubimendi and Declan Rice. I think Zubimendi's been signing of the summer for Arsenal Football Club. If we're talking about in the Premier League, he's probably top 3 or 4. I think he's been phenomenal this season. In recent weeks, he's been quite poor. I think he looks tired. It's kind of similar with Jurriën Timber. A lot of Arsenal fans can agree with this. He looks very tired. Norgard has to be coming in and playing more, but Mikel Arteta just does not want to do that for some reason. I don't know why, but we have to use Norgard more. I think Zubimendi, as good as he's been this season, he has his flaws, and when he's tired, those flaws really stand out. You saw against Manchester United, gave away a cheap goal, and it actually cost us the whole entire game. He makes silly mistakes here and there, and also sometimes when he's tired, he just can't string a 5-yard pass together sometimes, and it's a bit frustrating to watch. But overall, in the entire season, Zubimendi has been phenomenal. There's no arguments that he is our best number 6. So I think Zubimendi is getting in our best 11. And then next to him is Declan Rice. I think this one's probably the easiest, apart from the goalkeeper and the 2 centre-backs. I think Declan Rice is our best player by a country mile at the minute. I think he's phenomenal going forward. and defensively. He offers us so much that no other player in the entire squad, maybe even in the entire Premier League, can do what he does. He's an absolute engine. He's everywhere on the pitch, and even his technical ability. And you could take the piss when I say his corners and set pieces, but seriously, his set pieces. I don't know how he gets it so accurate every single time. And you may take the piss out of that, but that's a proper skill to have. Oh, Darren's got his best 11 in goalkeeper David Raya, centre back Saliba and Gabriel, right back Timber, left back Pierre Hincapié. There you go. Zubamendi, Rice, Eze or Erdegaard, Madueke or Saka, Trossard, and then Gyökeres. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, Pierre Hincapié, that's a surprise. I thought a lot of Arsenal fans would be putting Calafiori straight away because I don't think many Arsenal fans still realise his qualities, but I do love Hincapié and I would not mind him in at left back. But yeah, talking about Declan Rice, I think he's probably the best player in the Premier League this season, always up there in contention, and I think he walks into our best 11 by far, so he is our number 8. Above him, now this one can cause a lot of controversy. There's 3 players in mind. Erdegaard, our captain, Eze, or Havertz. Now, you could make an argument for all 3 of those players. I think all 3 on their day are phenomenal. But for me, it's Kai Havertz. It is Kai Havertz. I mean, with the limited minutes he's played this season, in terms of goals to minutes ratio, Kai Havertz absolutely rinses the other 2 players. I think performance-wise, as a team, we just look so much better with Kai Havertz in the 10. I think he makes players around him so much better with what he does on the ball and off the ball, and especially Gyökeres. I think what Havertz does just frees up Gyökeres so much space and time to run in behind the defence. It causes defence so much problems. Having a 6'4" 10 that can do anything technically and also got the physicality as well. I think he is our best 10. I think it's been evident. It's been evident this season when he's been in the team and out of the team. And I think when he's back, he does walk into our number 10 spot. But that does not mean Erdegaard or Eze is bad. Erdegaard's he's had a tough, I'd say, 18 months last season and this season. He's been quite poor and it's been frustrating to watch at times, especially as our captain. I think now Mikel Arteta slowly finally moving on from Erdegaard in terms of he's the first name on the team sheet, because I seriously don't think that anymore. And you've seen a difference, especially against Leeds when we beat them 4-0. Erdegaard, that's the first time he's been dropped for Kai Havertz, and we went on to win 4-0. And then Eze, 67 million from Crystal Palace in the summer. He hasn't lived up to the hype, but he is a club legend already, scoring 5 goals in 2 games against Spurs, helping us achieve 2 4-1 batterings home and away against Spurs. He will always be remembered, and I think he could be in this best 11 on his day. Even at left wing, I think, to be honest, I think he is our best left winger, but Mikel Arteta just refuses to choose him at there, which is a bit confusing. But that's the midfield done. So Declan Rice, Zubamendi with Havertz in the 10. That's my best 11 in my opinion. And then right wing, I think it is Saka. I mean, I say I think. I know it's Saka. Saka is our best attacker, let alone our best right winger. I think he's better than Madueke. Madueke came in to be a backup for Saka. And don't get me wrong, he's been a brilliant backup. I think Saka's been injured so many times this season. He's been running to the ground over the years. And I think this season and last season, we're kind of paying the consequences of playing Saka 38 games of the season in the Premier League, practically every single minute of the season as well. And he's been ridiculed with injuries. And Mikel Arteta knew that, so he knew in advance to get Madueke because Saka won't be able to play week in, week out, 2-3 times a week. And he's been helpful. Madueke has been helpful, but on their day, it is Saka, and I don't think anyone can complain with that. So Saka's on the right-hand side. For me, left-hand side, it's a tricky one. I mean, Trossard, Martinelli, or even Eze. Now, they all have their pros and cons. I think Trossard relies more on technical ability, and it's been very helpful and useful for him this season because a lot of teams just sit back in a dirty low block, which means there's not that much space in and behind, which plays into Trossard's favour. However, for Martinelli, he relies more on pace, which means in the Premier League, when they're sitting in a dirty low block, it kind of limits Martinelli in terms of proving himself. And that's why you notice in the Premier League compared to the cup competitions, Martinelli's superior in the cup competitions. I'm pretty sure he scored 10 goals. He's on track to break the record for Arsenal in terms of the most cup competition goals in cup competitions in a single season. So they have their pros and cons, and then Eze, obviously, we all know how good he is down the left-hand side. For me, I wouldn't say Eze, even though I do think he is better than the two. I think Eze's strengths are better than Trossard's and Martinelli's strengths. But as an out-and-out left winger, we haven't seen much of that this season, and when we have, it hasn't been the best, and Mikel Arteta just seems not like it for some reason. So Eze won't be in the best 11 for me, unfortunately. But it's between Trossard or Martinelli. And for me, I am going to go for Trossard. I think this season he has been a level above Martinelli. Maybe not in recent weeks. I think in recent weeks, Trossard has been struggling a bit, and you can tell he wants to get goals. So it's resulting in him being a bit greedy, and then we're just losing the ball stupidly, and it's a bit frustrating at times. And Trossard can be frustrating to watch at times, but I think this season, as a left winger, he has been our best left winger. And even at the start of the season, during like November to Christmas times, there was an argument that Trossard was our most consistent and best attacker. He was popping up in big games with big goals in big moments. Notably, the one against Sunderland, even though we drew the game 2-2, he was the one that just got a goal out of nowhere to make it 2-1. And from there, we're thinking, we don't concede 2 goals in a single game. We're going to win this game. But unfortunately, we didn't. And that was probably the start of our downfall in terms of breaking Chelsea's defensive record. So for me, it's Trossard left winger. And then up top, well, because Kai Havertz is in the 10 for me, there's only 2 options. And that is Victor Gyökeres, Gabriel Jesus. And I think for me, it's quite simple. It is Victor Gyökeres. He's got 15 goals in all competitions this season. No other player's got more than him. For a player in their first season under Mikel Arteta, only Lacazette has got more goals than them with 17. And we're in February, by the way. He only needs 3 more. I think. Wait, can you hear me? Yeah, you can. I think Gyökeres has been very heavily criticised this season at times. It's been fair, but also other times it's been about especially against Spurs in the first half, apparently people are saying he was terrible. I do not think he was bad whatsoever. I think he created a few chances, and even when he didn't, he wasn't bad. Apart from if you don't score, as a striker, if you don't score, it just seems like you've had a bad game straight up. And that's the issue with fans looking at Gyökeres. He doesn't score, so that means instantly got a bad game, which shouldn't be the case. I think Gyökeres' overall game this season has improved drastically. And I think now we're starting to see the best of Gyökeres. And in 2026, it's been paying off. He scored more goals than anyone in the Premier League. He's got more goals than any summer signing. He's been good this season. Maybe not phenomenal or fantastic, but I think he still has been good. And he does get into this best 11. So, let's run you through my best 11. In goal, it's David Raya. Right back, Jurrien Timber. Centre backs, Saliba and Gabriel. Left back, Ricardo Calafiori. In midfield, it's Zubimendi with Declan Rice and Kai Havertz in the 10. Right wing, Bukayo Saka. Left wing, Leandro Trossard. And up top, it's Victor Gyökeres. I think that's fair. I think most Arsenal fans will agree with that. If you're watching the replay from this live, comment down below your best 11. That was my best 11. Thank you everyone for tuning in for this live. It's been a bit of a good one, bit of a quiet one compared to the rest, but it's all good. We always have those quiet lives. It's all about building the community. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but I'll be back. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your evening and tomorrow. Bye-bye.